what I found after 15 years of living alcohol-free as fuck. The closer the connection, so the more intimate the setting, the more uncomfortable it becomes. If you go to a gig or a football match, no problem, right? There's like hundreds, if not thousands of people, right? But at a house party or a dinner with friends, there's something about that intimacy that triggers something primal in you. And this is where the liquid light jumps in and works its magic. Because alcohol doesn't just lower inhibitions, it creates a new reality, albeit a fake one.
You think you're scared of being the only one not drinking. You're not. You're scared of standing there with your eyes wide open while everyone else is asleep. You're scared of being awake in a world that wants to numb. And alcohol, it made sleepwalking feel like connection. Let's tear that lie apart. Hello everybody, my name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same. Like right now, how's everybody doing out there in the world? Little drink of my smoothie. I am back in Cardiff, the capital of Wales, in the UK. After 5 weeks in Riga, Latvia, and Budva, Montenegro. So back home, pretty cool. Probably going to spend some time with the girls, have some fun. Zia's off school this week. So good to be back. And another episode for you beautiful people. And today we're going to be talking about socializing without alcohol. Because socializing is one of the biggest fears people face when they stop drinking. It's not the act of talking, it's what stirs it up. Because there's a part of your psyche, or maybe several parts of your psyche, that flinches at the idea of being fully seen, right? And those parts, they've spent decades hiding behind a pint glass or a wine glass. Here is what I found after 15 years of living alcohol-free as fuck. The closer the connection, so the more intimate the setting, the more uncomfortable it becomes. If you go to a gig or a football match, no problem, right? There's like hundreds, if not thousands of people, right? But at a house party or a dinner with friends, there's something about that intimacy that triggers something primal in you. And this is where the liquid light jumps in and works its magic. Because alcohol doesn't just lower inhibitions, it creates a new reality, albeit a fake one, a more comfortable one for your parts. Your scared, shame-filled, approval-seeking parts. They don't want the truth. These parts. Their job is to keep you safe. And alcohol gives them that illusion, at least for a while. But that lie, it comes at a cost. Because the more you drink, the more you forget how to be social without it. The illusion becomes your baseline. And what happens when you remove it? Suddenly, you're face to face with feelings you haven't had or had to process or experience or deal with since childhood. Loneliness, boredom, fear, the terror of not being enough. And here's the thing, most people don't even realize that it's happening. They just say things like, I'm not very sociable, or I'm shy, or I'm awkward without a drink. But that's not true. That is just your parts talking. Now we're going to take a short break, but before I do, let me ask you this. When was the last time you went out, alcohol-free as fuck, and felt joyfully connected to someone without a single drop of alcohol in your system? Think about it, right? You would have done it. I see it every day in the coffee shops around the world. I don't see people drinking alcohol. I see them sitting there with their friends having a great laugh without alcohol. When was the last time you did that? Think about it, let it land, and we'll be right back just after this. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. And before the break, we were talking about the illusion that alcohol creates in social settings and what's going on beneath the surface. So I'm going to take you to a party that I went to. Yeah, I do go to parties every now and then. Actually, only when I'm forced to. I was in Budva, Montenegro, and we had the Triton poker party, right? It was a players' party. There was loud music. There was games, flashing lights, a lot of laughter, hugs, hype, great food, right? And a lot of alcohol. Sounds fun, right? But a few hours before the party, my part started kicking off. I started to have this internal chatter, this voice saying, I don't really want to go to this thing, right? And that was coupled or created a quiet hum of anxiety in my belly. Not panic, not terror, not overwhelm, just unease, right? Now, because I've done the work and done the practice for the past 15 years, because I'm now living for self more and more often, and I'm able to recognize when I'm past activated, I didn't want to drink in order to allow that feeling to go away. What I do these days is I sit with it, right? And I talk to myself basically. So I just asked the part, hey, what's going on? And I said to myself, I'm bored. I'm frustrated. I don't think we'll have any true connection when we go down there. It will just be surface level chit chat, performative conversations. And when this happens, I don't feel seen. I don't see people. They don't see me. I just see avatars and I feel like I shouldn't be there. And boom, there it was. There was an exile within me, what's called an exile part, a beautiful, wounded part of me from when I was young that just craves deep, meaningful connection. But there's also a protector part who blocks this exile from having this deep, meaning conversation because it's afraid of it, right? It's afraid we won't get it. So it tells me not to go to parties and it tells me to stay at home. So I said to this protector part, what if I go self? What if I lead and just give you the night off? Would you be okay with that? And my parts agreed. There was no resistance at all. So I made a plan, right? It wasn't just going to be another night out for me. It was going to be an experiment. And this is something that we do in the Strive method. There's a workshop about experimentation. And it's one of the reasons why in the stuck phase, I say to people, you don't have to stop drinking because there actually is some power in learning about the liquid lie while you're still drinking, right? But anyway, I don't drink, but I was still going to experiment. Yeah. It was an opportunity to test my edges around my comfort, right? My comfort zone. So I went to the party, and first of all, I meet my people, the people I work with every day. So I got some food, went around then, talking to them. And then I decided that I was going to leave them and I was going to talk to people I didn't know that well. So I did. I just went to people's table, people that I kind of knew, but not knew that very well. And I just talked to them. I asked them good questions. I sought deeper answers. I trusted my gut. I trusted myself. And yet, some parts of me wanted to leave, right? So when I was ready, I left. No pretending, no pushing, just presence, right? So I had a really good night. I met and talked to a lot of people. Some of them I just had shallow talk with them. It didn't go very deep, but I had one conversation in particular with another human being. I had a really deep conversation with him, and I'm going to connect with him again when I see him at the next Trident Poker Party because I really liked him. So if you could say, I made a friend, right? A like-minded soul. And that, strivers, is what it means to walk into the fire without flinching, so to speak. It's not about resisting the drink. It's about refusing to abandon yourself. It's about showing up raw, real, and ready, even when your parts beg you to run. You've got to have that conversation between self and parts because this is where growth happens, right? It doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens in those difficult conversations with yourself. And it happens in the places we swore we'd never go without a glass in our hand. Right, today's Daily Bow. Today I will not drink because I know my fear of socializing isn't about alcohol. It's about safety. It's about control. It's about connection. And I don't need to drink to be seen. I just need to lead by self. Social discomfort is not a flaw. It's a message and one that says you're ready to try something new. As you go about your day to day, please pause and reflect on these three questions. What do your parts say to you before a social event? What would it look like to let self lead instead of your parts? And when was the last time you had a deep conversation that surprised you? Email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com if you want to share those answers with me, or find me on social media at LeeDavyCoaching. Okay. All right. So that's all I've got time for you today. I'm going to be recording another gazillion podcasts before I clean this house up. If you really like this episode, please share it with someone. It will mean the world, especially if you know someone who is really struggling to socialize without alcohol. This will really help them. Subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And if you want to learn more about experimentation and why it's really important if you want to become alcohol free as fuck, visit www.strivemethod.com and join the stuck phase of the Strive Method. Until tomorrow, much love and strive on. And remember, today you are not going to drink alcohol because you are going to lead from self, not from your past. You've got this. Much love and take care. Bye-bye.